ability to control consciousness is what leads to decision making later, that what looks like decisions.
Okay, so this is a bit of a segue. You're gonna have to help me with.
Yeah.
So we have in our brain, we have this kind of magic floating needle that.
Yeah, and if you look at the brain, it's like there's a spark. Consciousness is a spark in the brain, right? And it moves around when you think.
Yeah.
Like there's a center to thought. When you do an MRI, or whatever,
and you see different areas light up, and
you see different areas light, but consciousness is moving around the brain, really lighting up those areas.
Yes,
and that's really where that needle is.
Okay, yeah. So and then that needle we train to get stronger.
Yeah,
and then we can, to a degree, apply, or what? Yeah, this is the thing. So we train that needle, and then we try and put it on good records.
Yes,
that is decision making. Is it not like we're choosing to focus our energies on a particular thing to give our consciousness a certain output?
Decision making in terms of what you're thinking about. It's not decision making in terms of like what you're going to do. In terms of like right now, what am I thinking about? Is it useful? It's just that there's so many it's meditation is just, I think, so important. It's going to come about. It's going to be like, we teach all this stuff on how to, do things properly. But at the end of the day, if we're not controlling our thoughts properly, it's not going to work anyways. And we just don't know that yet. And it seems like the next step is to learn how to meditate. Like, it's
to get the most out of our,
get the most out of our minds and our brains.
So biological potential,
Yeah. And the reason is because there is no decision making. There's only really this controlling of the consciousness. And I think that's what it's going to lead to. Like right now, we're just like, oh yeah, meditation's good. It's kind of hippie stuff, but it seems like there's like usefulness to it.
And some people get. I mean, at the very minimum, you're going to feel a little more calm, a little more relaxed, maybe a bit more connected.
Yeah.
But if you really go into the depths of meditation, the things you can do, the body control, the mind control, just over your own faculties is phenomenal.
Yeah. And you were even saying that meditation is not necessarily one strict thing. Remember, you can meditate.
It doesn't have to be just sitting there in a room in silence. Everyone has their own. It could be going to the gym. It could be painting. It could be drawing. It could be going for a walk or a cycle ride. It could be anything that just gets you. What did we say? Lets your subconscious run free.
It's not necessarily just sitting in a room. And that's why some people are very successful. They don't necessarily meditate, but I assure you that the success comes about because they have a good ability to control their consciousness. It has a lot to do with emotions, controlling emotions.
So they kind of they focus on, I was saying it's best to focus on what you're thinking, not what you're going to do.
It seems to me, yes, and it's not to say that your thinking can't be about the future. It can't be. Of course, you're planning and you're thinking about that stuff, but to be aware that you're spending your time thinking about the right things, I think is very important. I think a lot of people don't know that. Even myself, I don't think I really realized it. It takes a lot of
worrying about things that you have no control over.
I think that's so. Yeah. I do that so much.
Ditto.
And it's just such a waste of time.
Right? You worry not going to change anything.
So I'm jumping. I go from one thing to another thing to I'm testing this or that and then this. And
it all piles up and then you get bummed out. But nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed, man.
Literally, nothing's changed.
You just can't do it. And the reason we're not good at it is because no one told us. No one's like, look, man, like there's a way to use your brain. And you have to do it this way. Like otherwise, you're just wasting your time.
Yeah, completely.
And no one's ever said that to us, No. And then there's some people that they grew up in the right, households or environments, and they're taught that through, their parents and their family.
Yeah.
And they grow up with that.
Just their environment, and they pick it up, and they realize it's futile, so they just focus on something more positive.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's another thing. It's positive thinking, and it's absolutely true, and it fits into this thing. You want to spend time on things that you want to spend your time thinking about things properly, and positive thinking is definitely the way to do it. You
See,
know?
I really like the idea of positive thinking, but it's, you know, like, just to be that prick, you know, how do we apply it universally? You know, if there was somebody in war-torn sub-Saharan Africa who just thought about having a really good day.
Yeah, there's thinking like hypothetically and thinking positive, you know, positively. It's like I'm imagining a great future, you know, and then it's kind of like, oh God, like you're not realistic, you know. And
so it's
kind of
actually
like,
about just.
I think it's just not wasting time on
bad things. Yeah. So even in whatever situation it is.
Yeah.
No, I kind of
worrying or whatever, you know, like. And negative, you're just, when people think negatively, you're just imagining like shitty scenarios and things that, you know, again, doesn't seem like
I'm just there in the pot of it. Yeah, you know.
No, I have the same thing, you know. Positive thinking is going to change everything, and you're right. It's not. Well, no, I don't think that's the right definition.
But
there's something there too.
There's something there.
Yeah, you can't deny it. I think it really is.
Yeah, no.
If this is the new paradigm where you're like, okay, there's no decision. It's like, what do we teach people? Like, step one, teach them how to control their thoughts.
Yeah,
you know, it should be like the first thing, I guess. Like.